Welcome to Modern Home Mastermind with beSpoke Brokers. I'm Shawna, Glazier, designated broker and owner.
And I'm Brittainy Williamson, associate broker. Shawna and I are beSpoke real estate, but we're also your guides to modern luxury across the entire state of Arizona.
Each week, we chat with masterminds shaping the modern spaces. Do you want to get a behind-the-scenes look at your design build team's process? Well, open communication and teamwork will lead you to successful projects.
From architects to builders, designers, and more, let's explore the art of modern living together.
All right, welcome back. How does a builder with a design background elevate an architect's vision without overshadowing it? In this episode, we talk with Jason Smith of Identity Construction about the art of collaboration and what it takes to bring modern architectural plans to life, and how his eye for design still informs every build, even when he's not leading the design process.
That's right. Jason's the founder of Identity Construction, a Phoenix-based firm known for building architect-driven modern homes with precision and care. With a degree in architecture from ASU, Jason brings a designer's eye to every project as he collaborates with top architects to bring their visions to life.
All right. Welcome, Jason.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with how does your background in architecture influence how you approach building?
I think with the background, it allows us maybe a different perspective on a project, and allows us to, bring that perspective and introduce different elements to the project as far as detailing goes. A lot of architects maybe don't have their hands in it as much as we do. And so we get a set of plans and we go through it, and then we start working through those details and trying to enhance really the design, bring it all together, whether it's 10 sheets, 100 sheets, there's so much communication that is not in the drawings that needs to take place in the field. Mm-hmm. And having that ability really lets us kind of, enhance the design along the way.
Mm-hmm. So we know that you've worked with a lot of architects like the Ranch Mine and DeBartolo, amongst others.
Yeah.
Darren Petrucci, I know we're going to talk about some of your projects. How does that collaboration work? Because you are coming with this architecture degree. So kind of talk us through from the beginning, like what that looks like.
Yeah, I think the relationship kind of dictates that a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. Like some architects have a very heavy hand in all the detailing, mm-hmm. and they want to be, part of that process. And then there's other architects that we work with that are a little bit more hands off. And it's like, well, Jason's going to handle it. We know he's probably going to make, the best decision, but we still bring it up and we still have that conversation no matter what. So, because it is collaborative, we're striving to build the most unique, best homes. And so having that collaboration with the architect, whether I feel like the detail should be this or the direction should be that, it's a discussion to have. And so,
and then with the owners as well, are they typically coming to you first or to the architect first? How does that usually work?
I think I'm a big advocate for putting your team together. So whether you want to hire your architect or your builder first, get your team in place. That's number one. It's going to lead to a much more successful project. Having a builder that works with the architect on the budget, in our case, we can also help with the design, hands off, but make suggestions along the way based on our experience and education. So it's really kind of like put your team in place, let them do their job. We're happy to have the homeowners involved as much as they want. We're also happy not to have them. Our homeowners, we have some that are there daily, weekly, sometimes it's bi-monthly, so it's really just kind of working together, but having your team in place. So if you want to hire the architect first or the builder, put it all together, make sure everyone works together. You're going to have a successful project, one that gets built too.
Yeah. All right. And you also have a whole team of skilled fabricators. You specialize in architectural steel and custom elements. How does having that expertise in-house kind of benefit your company?
That kind of started out of, originally we were like subcontracting stuff out for the metal side, and 15, 20 years ago, there just wasn't a lot of skilled guys in that profession, I would say. They were doing like wrought iron fencing or other elements, and we're trying to do these like highly detailed doors and windows. And so we just started fabricating it. Literally, like we were like, we can do this. And so we just started small And now it's grown to like every house pretty much has some type of detailing. We're small, so we keep it kind of bougie. We pick and choose what our guys do. You know, typically we're not going to have them out doing major items like fencing, but when it comes to like doors and windows, you know, those little details that matter most, our guys get involved in it. And so it could be wood elements too. It could be glazing. It could be anything. We're kind of versed in everything, but you know, small boutique crew that kind of takes care of it.
I can almost imagine that the architects appreciate that just as much or even more than the homeowner.
Yeah, I mean,
they can task you with something like that.
It really became controlling the details for us. It's not, in my opinion, architectural metal is not a business I want to be in. It's really, I don't think it's overly lucrative, and it's you're just paying the bills, but it allows us to kind of create these visions of what we're trying to get done on a house, as well as like we get a lot of projects where maybe the architect didn't even design something, and then that's where we come in and it's like, well, we could build this window, and the glazing could be this big or that, and that's where we really kind of come in and start like massaging the design.
And you say that steel detailing is not lucrative maybe for your company, but for us selling it, when we go to resell a project like that and pointing out the steel detail, it really, you get a bang for your buck.
Yeah, because it's so unique, and in the desert, like our climate really allows for it if the house is kind of designed correctly. So, I mean, obviously you need to be a little bit sensitive with sun and angles of the sun, and you're trying to keep the steel. If it's a window system, you're trying to keep the sun off of it, just so it doesn't have that patina, heat transfer.
Or is it hot rolled steel that you're working with? Or
mostly just hot rolled. So, I mean, we can do some other stuff, but usually hot rolled is kind of our go-to for everything. So,
love steel detailing.
Yes. When it's done well, people recognize it and they appreciate it. So I can see how you'd want to have control over those types of features. And it's
such a great material for here in the desert because we don't have a ton of moisture. So it can kind of patina over time, just as the house kind of ages, it ages with the house. So it's really, it's a great material.
Do you have other types of materials that you prefer to work with?
I mean, my background is wood. Like I made furniture when I was a kid and even in college. So it's funny, like we have all these guys that do steel work, and I'm the guy that likes the sander and the nail gun. And
you're the carpenter.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, if I need a piece of steel cut, I don't cut it. I just call one of the guys. I'm like, hey, I need this. So,
That's great. Well, how about we look at some of your projects, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah.
Let's start with some of the ones that you have built already that are up and that people could drive by and take a look at them.
Sure.
All right.
So kind of first up here, we call the Mission Project. It's, for pretty much one of my best friends. He reached out, and we don't do a lot of design work, but when your best friend's like, I want you to design my house, it's like, you can't tell him no. So if you knew the individual, you can't tell him no. Shawna knows him.
Is that front door, did you guys design that then?
So this is owner kind of collab.
Okay.
The owner came to me with kind of a picture from a magazine, and not even a website. It was literally a magazine. And he's like, hey, this is what I want it to look like. And so then we worked through the details of how can we make this? How can we kind of represent what he kind of wants it to look like?
Can you describe this for our people listening? Because it is very unique.
We got into making the big pivot doors, and it's for instances like this. You only get one front door. So, I'm always about like, hey, if the door costs $30,000 for your front door, it costs $30,000. But when the pizza guy comes over, he's going to love it. When your mom comes over, she's going to love it. So this door in particular, it's probably 10 by 10, I think, is the actual dimension of the door. And then it's basically clad with hot rolled steel and kind of these rectilinear patterns. And then this project, the owner wanted to introduce a bunch of amber glass. And so
what that was.
Yeah. So I don't know where he got that kind of imagery, but we sourced it, we found it, and then we created kind of these voids within it. And some are actually clear and some are opaque. And so, it kind of lets the light bleed through a little bit differently. When I'm designing a house, I really like to kind of create this like space so the entry becomes, an actual almost room, because you just don't want to dump into like the great room or the kitchen or something like that. So, you know, I like to tuck the door kind of off to the side. So you have to come up, turn, and then have a bit of layering as you enter.
I love that. And just a little privacy too when you enter the house. Yeah, it's beautiful. Are those cast in place concrete walls or what are those? Yeah.
We started doing cast in place. Honestly, I think it was our office was our first kind of venture into it, and then it just became this one thing that like every project almost has a cast in place wall. So you know,
bucket windows
I
have been bugging these owners, like you said. I know them. I want a tour of this house.
We can arrange that. I mean, they're pretty accommodating. I know
I gotta get on their schedule.
Yeah, so bucket windows. So like a bucket window, for kind of the audience that doesn't know, is typically it's a 1/4 inch steel. You know, it could be standard size is like 12 inches deep, and then we push the glazing all the way to the exterior side, and that way it, you know, creates, having the glass all the way at the exterior of the bucket is good for waterproofing, and then it creates a, like, I think Darren Petrucci called it like an iPad look. You know, it looks like an iPad, you know, on the wall type thing. So unique. And then on the interior, it creates like, you have this little niche or shelf that you can fill or you cannot. Yeah. So my wife likes to stick plants in all of them. So
that's what I was saying.
So Cochise, this is actually my personal house. There was a lot that was being annexed by an HOA, and it was long and skinny. Call it an aircraft carrier, basically. I think it's 60 feet by like 300 feet long. Sorry. Yeah, 60 feet by 300 feet long. So very restrictive setbacks, very restrictive on lot coverage, everything. So, you know, we designed this kind of long, skinny house. And
good for a lap pool.
Yeah, my wife and I were both swimmers growing up. So it was like, well, if we're going to do this, let's do a lap pool and actually like make it functional. So lots of board form, Luna wood for the ceiling from Delta Millworks, exposed concrete polished floors with like a larger aggregate that we work with the concrete guy.
Yeah, almost looks like terrazzo.
Yeah. What's great with that is like, we do so many preventative measures to keep the concrete from cracking, but concrete's concrete. You get beauty marks, right? No matter what. And so when you do the full exposure like that with the larger aggregate, it really, I mean, it hides a lot of stuff. We have 2 dogs, and you can't see hair, cracks,
good to know.
crumbs.
What year did you build this or finish it?
We finished it like 2.5 years ago. So
just you're ahead of your time on that ceiling.
Yeah, we saw that, and instantly I loved it. And so then it really became, we picked the ceiling, and we had to try to find, like, for the millwork, it was like trying to find, like, I love white oak, and every project I've ever done has white oak personally. And so this was like a venture, and we went with a walnut, and, you know, it blends pretty close. You know, happy with it, all said and done. But walnut's, you know, challenging because it wants to keep changing over time. The color, you know, keeps, whether enhancing, modifying, however you want to say it. So, but yeah, the Luna wood is great. And now we've seemed to have done it on quite a few projects. So.
That's beautiful. I think it's great to let clients know that too, about certain materials, that they will change. Patina, whatever it is over time.
So
I think people
what it looks like day one and what it looks like even before you move in, it's going to change with light, you know, humidity, everything. It's a living, it used to be a living item. So it's going to keep, you know, being enhanced, in my opinion. I mean, otherwise, if you don't like that, go with, you know, like paint grade stuff. You know, if you want it to stay one color, that's fine too. Not my forte, but I love wood doors and, you know, millwork all to be just natural.
I love it that walnut has kind of come back into popularity too.
Which
this project we did with Kevin with the Ranch Mind, it's actually out in kind of Buckeye. There's a water ski lake out there, I don't know if you mentioned this on when you guys had them on, but unique projects. So, Kevin will call me. He's like, hey, I have a unique project. And instantly I'm like, okay, sounds good. So whether it's in Buckeye or Sedona or wherever, it's like when he calls and makes that comment, it's like, okay, we'll figure out the logistics of getting it done. And so this house was kind of like designed around an 8x8 theme, which the owner just like went berserk with. So the pool is 88 feet long. I'm like, me as a swimmer, I'm like, no, we need to do 75 feet. And he's like, no, it's 88. I'm like, no, 75. So, but
lots of Garmin, can you calculate that?
Right.
Yeah. So, well, truth be told, my pool I think is 76 because my OCD had to have it line up with the house.
Yeah, as it should.
So I have like an extra foot in my pool. So
then you're a lot faster now. Or slower, but faster when you go other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did mention this project. This community sounds very interesting. The fact that it's all built around this water ski lake.
This was there was one other project out there. So it's like you go out there and it's a ghost town. It literally is a ghost town, and you get like the biggest bugs you've ever seen in your life there, like because there's a bunch of farmland kind of within reach, and so but super unique. I haven't been out there for a few years now, but I'd heard that it was kind of getting built out. There's actually other projects going on.
Yeah.
So
never been off that way. Such a cool project.
Yeah. How about some of the newer or upcoming projects you have?
So upcoming, this is one of the projects we have with Kevin up in Sedona, showing 2 images here of these tents, which the manufacturer is called Jupe, Jupe. Super interesting. You could go to their website or you could link it. But this was version 1.0, and they have like 2.0 out now too, but they have little air conditioner space heaters in there. There's LED lighting, there's solar.
So it's like glamping.
So
yeah.
Love it.
So they claim you can just kind of set these on the site. Well, we ended up, the site's has a lot of terrain. So we kind of cleared some areas, poured some, concrete pylons, and then set them on that. And then they came with a deck that we ended up not using. And then we just built steel decks. That way the steel will like last.
So is the property owner using these, or what's the use for them?
It's all personal use. So we get that question so much.
Yeah.
Like if I'm on site, a neighbor literally wanders over. And it's a large parcel. It's like 35 acres. And they're like, hey, what's he doing with this? Is it a VRBO? Is it? And I'm like, no, it's his personal use. So
like guests,
kids, there's multiple phases to this project. So this was kind of like phase 1. We're currently finishing up phase 2, which is an outdoor pavilion and his personal kind of fitness area building. So hopefully we'll have those up on the website, early spring, I would say. Both super unique buildings. And then hopefully there's some more phases, that we might be working on here in the near future as well. So, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
This is a project that we finished up actually about a year ago. Darren Petrucci with Air as the architect. We're waiting on some furniture to have it shot, which the furniture hasn't come in from Italy. I'm sure there's some tariffs and everything else going on, but so soon as we get the furniture. But the good thing with that is actually like the landscaping actually gets to grow, and it feels much more organic at that point. So I tend to like to wait about a year to shoot a house personally. I know it's always great to have media out there and show everyone, but we are working in the background finishing projects, but sometimes we, wait a year or so, and the architecture's timeless. So that's what's beautiful. Is like,
is there someone moving in here?
Yeah, they moved in about a year. Yeah, about a year ago.
But they're waiting on their actual furniture.
They literally still, I was just there this week, and they literally have like folding chairs for their kitchen table stuff. So like Coleman camping chairs.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This one's really cool. I mean, this neighborhood, Stone Canyon, just has some really cool architecture going on.
Yeah.
And the views, that one's looking dead at Camelback Mountain.
Yeah.
Right? Or no, sorry, Mummy.
No, that one's looking dead at Camelback. Darren, I mean, when we started the project, this is one kind of unique. The owner came to me and was like, give me 3 architects you want to work with. And I gave him 3. And I'll be honest, Darren was not one. And he calls me like a week later. He's like, so I ended up hiring Darren. I was like, well, that wasn't on the list. And so anyways, Darren nailed the view out of the great room on this. It's actually like perfect. So once we get the images shot, I mean, he did such a great job with it.
And you have another one in Stone Canyon you're working on? Yeah,
another one, this one we're going to be breaking ground in probably about a month. This is Susan Bigner, Scott Murph. Backstory, Scott was like the professor at ASU that I felt like opened my eyes to architecture. And I always say that, like, give him credit.
I like that.
Like he basically pulled me in like first year studio, and I felt like he was like the guy that was like, this is what architecture can be, and you're good at it, so keep doing it. And so I always go back to, and it's so cool. That was like, 25 years ago now. Yeah. And now I get to work with them still to this day. And Darren probably ripped me apart on a project in studio as well. And now we get to work together. It's unique. Yeah. So, but Susan Bigner has this one. We'll break ground, like I said, in about a month. This is interesting because it's a little bit out of our wheelhouse, right? Like we have these really kind of super contemporary, and this is much more like stone, woods, and I'm excited to do it because it's different than some of our other work.
Yeah. Is this a end user like build to suit?
Yeah, the owner actually owns an adjacent property, and so I don't know ultimately if she's going to move into this and sell the other one. I don't know her intent, but end user. Berghoff is doing the landscape design on this, so should be pretty cool.
It's very organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But was that? Do we have any other projects you want to look at? I think we got
this is another one. This is the Stone Canyon project, another Darren project coming out of the ground. The neighbors are not happy at this point. We've been hammering them out for about 9 months. So we're literally.
Is this the top of 24 or?
It's kind of how to describe it.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's up there. There's like one other house that's higher. It's on the north side of Camelback Mountain, kind of right underneath the water tower that's up there.
Okay.
Yeah, so very hard to find up there.
Yeah, that climb is on the 12 Hills of Christmas. Have you ever done that? Right?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost want like your eagle like on a mountain bike.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah. I see like one cyclist. He comes up once a week, and that's all I ever see is one guy. I'm like, dude's a stud. He comes up here once a week.
I probably know who he is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, on that point, we know that you're a triathlete.
Former triathlete. Retired.
Same. Yeah. We're both former triathletes, current cyclists. So we used to do a lot of cycling. So curious, just your opinion on like how you, successful people balance work, life, training together.
Significant other, like my wife's a rock star, so I could just defer to her. So like she was doing triathlons too, and we were both doing it, but lots of early mornings. I mean, 3:30 mornings all the time. Get up, get your training in, then go to work, try to fit more training in. So I mean, I miss it to a certain degree, but I also don't miss it, right?
Are you not training at all?
A lot of strength training these days. So just trying to keep my body together for the rest of my life. I'm kind of in that stage of, pick golf back up. My son got me back into golfing. I used to play a ton of golf when I was younger, and that's fulfilled the competitive desire a little bit, so yeah.
I'd like to know why the focus on building as opposed to architecture.
It's probably longer than we have in this podcast, but I kind of relate. When I was a kid, I loved Legos, and I would love putting them together. So it's kind of like you're the builder. They give you the blueprint, and you put it together. And I always loved like, doing different things to whatever it was I was building, but I never totally just went from scratch, I would say. And so going, I don't even know why I picked architecture. I loved art when I was a kid. And so it was like, okay, well, architecture sounds good, right? Like I like building. But then ultimately kind of going through that process after school, I worked, at a few architecture firms. And then I just realized like, as much as I like designing, I really like building. It's just, I think for me, there's more gratification, putting things together. At the end of the day, when you build something like physically with your hands, it's like, I don't know that there's much more gratification because like you can walk away from it. And we're building things that we hope like last more than 100 years, right? Mm-hmm. So it really came down to that. And I do think like I do probably more drawings now than I ever for like whatever it be, a barbecue, this, that. Like we're supplementing drawings constantly, and I'm sketching constantly. Like the iPad, the tape measure, and the Sharpie are my 3 tools. Like I don't get out of the truck without those.
All right, we'll take that off the rapid fire question.
Oh, that's
right.
too long.
Yeah.
No. I was saying one of your rapid fire question was what tools do you have to have?
No,
so,
there you go.
Now
the most indispensable tool.
Yeah.
Job site.
No, I love it. I resonate that. I think our listeners, I think anybody resonates with that. When you do something with your hands and you can build something and accomplish something. I mean, it's
And I feel like architects are so like all the guys we work with are like involved. They get to come out and they like get to be part of it too.
Yeah.
But it's still like, cutting, putting it, gluing, like all those little things. And it's like, I think it's great for architects to learn too. It's like when you have to put something together, you have so much more appreciation for how that design affects cost, functionality, everything. And so, all of those things. So like for all the young architects, go work for a builder, go work for, like you're going to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and things like waterproofing and like if you have the builder knowledge,
when you have to go fix drywall because something's leaked and physically you're like, I'm going to do it better next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just having more knowledge of how things actually work.
But there is a saying I always say is like, if the roof doesn't leak, you didn't push the architecture far enough. So like,
that's funny.
Yeah, it's like, so I mean,
that'll make our clients feel better.
Yeah. So
you have really cool architecture because your roof is leaking.
All right. We're gonna go on a little rapid fire.
Awesome.
Okay, who's your favorite architect?
I think it's a collaboration of all of them. I mean, I could pick and choose. So many things from so many great architects. I think, from all the guys, individuals that we worked with, like each one has something so unique. If I could like take that from that person and take this from that person, and just kind of make this Frankenstein of that's for me. I don't really gravitate to just one person. And I mean, that's the beauty of my job is I get to work with all these architects. And so it's like, I would never design a project probably that Susan Bigner, has designed, but I get to build it. So I get to like work on it. So I think that's the beauty of my job too, is like, I get to work with all these artists and talented people. So
what's your favorite restaurant in Phoenix?
That was my question to you guys. I was going to ask you that.
We can answer.
Well, Hush Public. I like Hush Public. Yeah. That's like very small restaurant, Thunderbird and Scottsdale Road. They have like some of the best food in my opinion. And it's very like, if you can go and sit at the bar and then watch the guys cook, that's where you want to.
Have you been to Fire at Will?
Yeah, we live right next door. So we're there every other week.
Nice.
So their hamburgers are like.
Ooh, I just heard this. Somebody on my bike ride on Saturday was like, you have to go there. The best hamburgers. I was like, does it look like hamburgers? I eat cheeseburgers.
Oh, you got
But they were going and he had this like Australian accent and he sold me. I'm going to go have a cheeseburger there.
I always say it's like In-N-Out on steroids. So take an In-N-Out burger if you like In-N-Out and then it's that much better. So
all right.
Same chef owns both. Same. Yeah. So and Aaron Bass went to high school with him. So just throwing so.
What's your favorite restaurant?
We don't go out to eat much. Yeah. My husband cooks a lot. But there is a burger place by our house called The Spot that we go to, and they have
Spot.
excellent burgers as well. And I do eat burgers.
Yeah.
And Vecina's, have you been to Vecina's?
Yeah, no.
And Valentine is kind of one of my favorite spots
Yeah.
right now. It's really
That
good.
was great.
Okay.
In Modern Manor. It's in the same
Yeah.
building. Okay. Favorite race you've ever done?
I would say Super Frog because I won my age group that day and everything just came together. But anything with a flat bike course,
Yeah.
which would save my legs for I'm not the best runner.
Yeah.
So anything I realized doing triathlons, I had to pick certain races for what I do best. So open water, hard swim, flat bike, and then just hold on for the run.
Very hard swim. I won my age group there too.
Yeah.
And the run though was like a lot on the sand.
Yeah, I think
It was
that
an easy
race, the half, I think you run maybe, I could be wrong. It's like 6 or 8 miles are in this.
Yeah. No.
So like it kind of negates a good runner.
It does.
So
Yeah.
like you're all bad runners at that point. So
Yeah.
I think that's why I did so well at that race. But yeah.
And that swim was rough. Like
I wonder if we did it the same year. There was like waves that year that were like 10 or 12 foot swells.
I'll have to look because maybe 2015.
Yeah.
I have video.
215 or 16. It was somewhere right in
I
there.
wonder if I beat him. Probably
you
not.
didn't.
Well, I had a really fast bike. I was the first female off the bike. Actually, I was leading the race for a couple miles, and then because they had all the young West Point.
Yeah, they have it's like a military based race.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some really fast military guys.
Yeah.
So,
No, I know I beat you, but
How do you like to celebrate after completing a project?
I mean, ultimately, a cocktail with the owner is always nice. I mean, I think some of our owners are so gracious. They'll like have all the guys like, out for dinner, or, we've had owners like they literally throw a party at the end. And I think that's like, it's a good way to close out the house, and then I think there's a lot of guys that work on the project that don't necessarily get to see it all the way through. And it gives them an opportunity if, but ultimately, have some type of closing type ceremony with the owner is always nice, because then you're ending on good terms and everyone's happy.
that's great. What about the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I don't know if I have a great piece of advice. If you want to be a GC, it's like I would just say, if you want to be a GC, it's like being an aircraft or an air traffic controller, except for no one has their pilot's license. So literally like, that's how I feel every day, is just like making phone calls, doing schedules. Yeah. Making sure everyone lives. So
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Yeah.
We are going to link all of your contact information in our show notes, but if you wouldn't mind telling our listeners where they can find you.
Yeah, they can just find us, just search us through Instagram. You'll find us, I'm sure. Websites, identityconstruction.net. There's a link on the website for both Instagram and email. So just reach out through us through the website's probably best.
Awesome. All right. Thanks. That's it for today's episode of Modern Home Mastermind. If you've enjoyed the show, please subscribe, rate, and like.
Thanks to our guest for all of his insight, and to you for learning about everything modern with us.
And if you're ready to take the next step in your real estate journey, please reach out to us at beSpoke Real Estate. And until next time, keep living, loving everything modern.